All right, folks, brace yourselves for this one. A MAGA Fox News legal analyst named Jonathan Turley, who's rarely found a Trump position that he didn't defend or a Democratic position that he didn't attack, is now publicly defending Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez against increasingly public threats from Donald Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, for criminal prosecution simply because she is educating migrants about their legal rights. How's about that for a plot twist? But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, I was kind of surprised by this one. Jonathan Turley is somebody that I routinely make fun of because I think he's an unprincipled loser. I think he, again, is a hack when it comes to his legal analysis. Again, he's like a divining rod, and he almost always will defend Donald Trump and attack the Democratic position, even on notions of like presidential immunity. Just really disgusting. But Jonathan Turley surprised me here because he's actually publicly attacking a Trump administration official for his threats against AOC, as Mediaite reports. An assault on free speech. Fox's Jonathan Turley hits back at Trump border czar, suggesting that AOC could be prosecuted. Again, we will, you know what, let's just read the article. I have clips of Homan to show you where he's making the threats. But here's the article. Fox News legal analyst Jonathan Turley poured cold water all over Trump border czar Tom Homan's repeated suggestions that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should be prosecuted for offering advice to illegal migrants about their rights when it comes to talking to law enforcement. Quote, "Are you suggesting that she should be prosecuted?" CNN anchor Dana Bash asked Homan over the weekend. Quote, "I'm suggesting that I would ask the Department of Justice, what's the line on that impediment, right? That's a broad statute. So I know impeding or someone stopping in front of me and putting their hands on my chest, that you're not coming in here to arrest that guy, that's clearly impeding. But at what line? Where's the line on impeding?" Homan replied, adding. And at this point, I want to play some clips to really just drive this home, because he's not just said this on CNN, he said this repeatedly on Fox News. So here's Tom Homan, the border czar for Trump, suggesting that he wants the Justice Department to go after AOC.
You know, I'm sure a free speech argument can be made. Okay, she has every right to say anything she wants. When does it cross a line into aiding and abetting lawbreaking? Would it have to have direct involvement by her in helping people to evade ICE?
That's exactly the question I posed to the Deputy Attorney General. I asked him to look into it. I says, I know through my career, someone steps in front of you, in between you and the person you're arresting or repeating. Yeah, that's a violation. But at what point do you cross the line on saying you're educating people versus you're teaching them how to evade ICE arrest? So I've asked that question to the Department of Justice for clear guidance, so I can share that with the officers of ICE. So we're looking for that clear direction so we can start taking action on people that want to evade, who want to help educate these people to evade ICE. So hopefully any day now we get that guidance sent out to the field.
So, again, we got some other clips to look at here, but in response to this is what Jonathan Turley had to say. Border czar Tom Homan doubled down last night that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez might be prosecuted for hosting a forum on Know Your Rights for accused illegal aliens. Such a prosecution would be an assault on free speech rights. While AOC has never been a defender of free speech, principle demands something more from the rest of us who value the First Amendment. Just as Vice President Vance offered a powerful defense of free speech in Europe, this baseless threat undermines the high ground achieved in Munich. Of course, again, he has very little to say about this openly censorious actions of the Trump administration, such as Donald Trump's repeated threats to sue and to wield state power against news network that he doesn't like ABC, NBC, MSNBC, and others. Both on the campaign trail in his first term since he's become president, his lawsuits against Ann Seltzer, a retired pollster, over a poll he didn't like, against CBS for the Kamala Harris interview, which turned out to be total bullshit, or the fact that the Trump administration's FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is surgically targeting media networks that Trump doesn't like while shielding Fox News, for example, who, again, and I love referencing this because it's the ultimate trump card. It helps us, liberals, always win the debate when it comes to media credibility, which is that Turley's own network, Fox News, had to pay the single biggest defamation payout in the history of America because they signal boosted the lies of Donald Trump regarding the 2020 election, defamatory lies against Dominion voting systems, and they had to pay $800 million. So they are objectively worse than CNN, MSNBC, and others because CNN and MSNBC have never had to pay something that consequential for defamatory lies. And yet, even though complaints were made under the previous administration, the Biden administration, against Fox News, that the Biden administration actually stopped, they protected Fox, as a matter of fact, Trump's FCC is going after other networks, but keeping Fox protected. Now, again, Turley has nothing to say about any of that, which is why I have such disdain and contempt for him. But a broken clock is still right twice a day. And he said this here. He said it here that it would be an assault on free speech for Tom Homan to prosecute or call for the prosecution of AOC. And I'll give Turley some credit here. Again, barely any. Let's be very clear. This is not a consistent principled defense. I've never encountered a consistently principled, outspoken Trump supporter because, unfortunately, given that Trump is a hypocrite and a pathological liar and a malignant narcissist, he constantly violates conservative principles. He's not a conservative. Trump himself is an authoritarian populist who has simply infiltrated the Republican Party because the Republican Party has lent itself well to cultishness. Okay, they are the weaker party, constitutionally speaking. That's why he chose them. If the Democrats had been that way, Trump was a registered Democrat for much of his life. He would have infiltrated the Democrats. Unfortunately, there was a moral rot at the heart of the leadership of the Republican Party that made them easier to infiltrate and bend to his will. So again, just want to be very clear. Turley is very inconsistent with his principles, but he is overwhelmingly right-wing and goes out of his way to lend his reputation. He's a constitutional law professor. I think is it George Washington University. Again, he works at a reputable university. That's why he's a Fox News analyst, is because they're trying to use his credibility. And he overwhelmingly defends Trump and the right-wing movement. So for him to publicly come out against Tom Homan here, it's actually pretty notable. So again, it just undermines the total lack of credibility of Tom Homan's position, because otherwise Turley would be like, oh, hell yeah, please. Turley would be so happy at the notion of AOC being prosecuted or jailed or just out of Congress because he loathes her. But even he recognizes that this violates free speech rights. Now, on the topic of Homan, I also want to play another clip because it's clear he has a deep grudge against AOC that is profoundly, shockingly, publicly personal.
First of all, I think she's, I won't go after her on
Tom,
national
please
TV
do.
because,
Please do. Say what's on your mind. It's a holiday.
Look, she's the dumbest congresswoman ever elected to Congress, and she proves that every day. And look, bottom line is, I can't believe any member of Congress, Republican, Democrat, Independent, would want to educate criminal illegal aliens who are in the country illegally, been convicted of a violent crime, and have been ordered removed by an immigration judge after due process at great taxpayer expense. You got a congressman or congresswoman that does not want ICE to do the job that Congress has mandated them to do.
If what she says is true and she's educating people about their rights, then tough, deal with it. People are entitled to their rights no matter if they're, documented, undocumented, if they're criminals or otherwise. People have rights in this country. And her education of them might make things inconvenient for you, but that doesn't make her dumb, and it doesn't make her prosecutable, which kind of suggests that you're the dumb one. Again, especially if you lose somebody like Jonathan Turley, dumbass. It's exceptional. But again, what a deep grudge that he clearly has against this person. Imagine if the Biden administration or a member of the Biden administration openly said that Marjorie Taylor Greene was stupid. And she is. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just profoundly dumb, infinitely dumber than AOC. AOC would effortlessly crush her in a debate. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is considerably less serious and considerably less motivated when it comes to delivering, material benefits to her constituents. So again, I'm just trying to imagine the credibility of someone who says that AOC is the dumbest member of Congress when that Congress also includes the likes of Chip Roy and Tim Burchett and Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. The right wing just has cornered the market when it comes to stupid elected representatives. AOC responded to this by saying, "This is why you fight these cowards. The moment you stand up to them, they crumble. Homan has nothing. The Fourth Amendment is clear, and I'm well within my duties to educate people on their rights. He can threaten me with jail and call me names all he wants. He's got nothing else. To say nothing of the fact that there are constitutional protections for members of Congress when it comes to speech and debate, so that they're usually given considerable latitude in this respect. But yeah, again, when you lose Jonathan Turley, a MAGA Fox News legal analyst, and you lose him so much that he feels the need to publicly attack you for your censorious impulses and you're Republican, yikes, you've truly lost the plot. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.